Hi guys, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Weekend Reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, albums or singles, and after having listened to them all week, I come back here and I review them. I share what I think of them. So without further ado, let's get into this week's releases. M's new album Rescue Story is the first release I'll be talking about today. Stylistically speaking, he has Southern Gospel, Southern Rock on here, and he has definitely fully developed these sounds on this album, so it's kind of neat to hear how he did that. As for the lyric, he's really come into his own on this album with his sound, producing a pretty true version of himself, I would say. As for the lyrics here, they talk about God always being there for him, saving him, how now because he's in Christ, his past has been washed away, and he's now defined by the freedom that he's found in Christ, and now he relies on God to live for him. So basically, that applies to all of us, by the way. As Christians, we've been saved, we are more than our past, and now we rely on God to help us live for him. Up next, Laura Story's new EP, I Give Up. This new EP, I Give Up, is a blend of contemporary pop and worship. I was surprised to hear a little more synthesizer and bass here, but there is also piano, there's also drums, there's also, albeit on the lighter side, electric guitar. As for the lyrics here, she talks about standing all of God's glory and power, and also she addresses themes of surrender quite a bit on this in a couple songs, at least on the CP as well. Up next, Micah Tyler's new single, Amen. Amen is a pop song. It's kind of catchy with the synthesizer and bass. Really good sound here. Really like it. As for the lyrics here, he talks about how he can't get over all that God has done for him, and it shows. And that's the way we should all be about how he saved us. Up next, 2 new singles from Ryan Stevenson. Not one, but 2 new singles. So let's talk about both new singles from Ryan Stevenson. The first single is called When We Fall Apart. And this is kind of a little bit more of a pop ballad. And while it has the piano and the bass that we would typically hear in most pop ballads, there's a little bit of electric guitar here, which is kind of not something we hear always in pop ballads anymore, but it's great that we hear it here, so that's awesome. As for the lyrics here, they're really personal. I mean, he talks about how he felt when he lost his mom, was losing his mom, and also, in addition to talking about that, though, he gives a great message about how it's okay to fall apart emotionally. It's okay to be sad, and sometimes that's actually how you heal, is just letting it all out. The other song is called Mercy in the Dirt, and this is a little bit more of a danceable track, a little more upbeat than the other song was. Like I said, the first song was kind of more a ballad, this song's a little more upbeat. And I love the lyrics to this song, too. It talks about how instead of God beating us up when we're at our worst, he actually loves us at our worst and shows us mercy in the dirt. Up next, our last release today, The Young Escape's new single, So Alive. That's for this new single from The Young Escape called So Alive. I should probably mention, this came across as a viewer request, so thanks to the person that requested it. And now I will share what I think of the sound here. So, the verses are kind of milder pop with synthesizer and bass, and then the chorus is more of a lighter pop rock feel to it with the drums and the guitars. As for the lyrics here, this song talks about how God pulled us out of the dark and made us alive. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what you saw in this video this week, please subscribe. And if there's any releases you want me to do, whether it be singles, albums, you can also request upcoming albums so I can do pre-release singles. Comment that below. Also, be sure to like this channel on Facebook at My Christian Music Week in Reviews. I'm going to leave a link to that Facebook page in the description, as I always do. Well, I'll go now. Bye.